viewers. Welcome to the Thoughts on Education. Today with us, we are having Mr. Dr. C.H. Narasimham, the College Principal of Dadi Institute of Engineering and Technology, Visakhapatnam. I welcome you aboard, sir. So, sir, could you please introduce yourself to the viewers on this platform of Thoughts on Education by College Union?
Thank you, Umsi. Hello, viewers. I'm Dr. Chala Narasimham, a professor of computer engineering. Right now, I am holding the position of principal of Dadi Institute of Engineering and Technology. Earlier, I used to work with Vignan Institute of Information Technology as a professor and principal, and also a professor with V.R. Siddhartha Engineering College, and a professor with Maharaja Engineering College, Vijayanagaram, and also associate professor with GMR Institute of Technology, and also a professor and head of the department of SR Engineering College, Warangal, right now that is SR University. I served there for 3 years. Recently that I joined with Dadi Institute of Engineering and Technology as a principal. So the institute is having a vision under the visionary chairmanship of the Sri Dadi Ratnagar Garu to provide more facilities. He invited me to take up this position. So November 2nd onwards that I'm in the chair of the principal. Thank you.
Congratulations, sir, on this.
Thank you.
So let's proceed to the interview.
Yes,
sir, on that, my first question would be that you have held very key positions at various institutions by which you have said so far earlier in your brief introduction also. So I want to know, sir, through these positions at the education institutions throughout your professional career, what are the key factors that would be connected to the education sector which have connected you to this education sector?
Yes, Swapsi, that actually I love in teaching. I have come from that rural village. My schooling and everything from a remote college, remote village, where I have studied schooling and all. And what we have learned during those days, that one is, according to our Prime Minister, the Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru Garu, the shape of the nation that will be being molded in the classrooms. So those days, we treat that teachers as gurus. And we used to stand up and we used to hold our hands. That was the thing that we have learned those days. Now also, it is a very respectable position, teaching position. And also the main thing that why it is attracted to me is that it's a passion. I love teaching and I want to motivate, I want to educate the young generations. And here one more thing also that in this field, what I can observe is that autonomy. So if we have a strength, then definitely that we can share with our people, with our colleagues, as well as our young students. So if we have a particular idea, so then we can share with a group of people, then we can convince and we can implement, so that one in a very successful manner. This is the only profession that will have an opportunity. So where we can find a group of very energetic young people. Always that we are becoming year by year old, but what we are teaching is that every time that we will be teaching 18 to 21 or 22-year-old children. So working with that sort of like energetic people, we are also energizing every time. We are also getting that energy by looking at that one, and we also that we need to work So that will be continuous. And another important factor here it is that this is the profession where we can continuous learning that is possible in this profession. So continuous learning it is very much that is required. We need to update ourselves. So most recently, I have completed my postdoctoral also. Even after principal, very few people that they used to go for postdoctoral. So most recently, to 2020 only that I have completed my DSc. That is a postdoctoral from University of Swahili, Panama. So there also I have submitted my thesis. I was as a teacher. I was as a scholar that time.
Right.
So that is there are so many like that the factors that have influenced me. Yes, sir.
So the thing is, I got to understand that you are very much passionate about what you're doing.
Passionate about the
teaching and everything. Yes, sir. And it's also noted. The point is that yes, in our culture, it is also from initially it is embedded that Guru is like a kind of a god or a Brahma who used to teach and everything after your first teacher who is your mom, and second father, and later will be considered as a guru who is considered.
Guru, yes.
Right, sir. So I will be going to the question number 2, sir. So, sir, being the principal of the Dadi Institute of Engineering and Technology, so how do you strategize about your key programs and plans for the marketing and administration of your school?
Yes, sir. According to the system, engineering college is a system. Is where we are producing the young engineers to the world. So to produce young engineers, that the system is having, the institute is having a vision. So as a leader, that what we have to do is that we have to I have to understand the vision and I have to give the directions to implement the vision. So by using our mission points, like we need to have a very good system in this particular area. So this is also connecting to the rural people. So with that objective only, the institute has actually that is started. It is the founder chairman of this institute is Dadi Veerabhadra Rao Garu, Sri Dadi Veerabhadra Rao Garu. He was an academician, and later that he elevated to the positions of the minister, and he served for both different levels. And now the chairperson is Sri Dadi Ratnakar Garu, having a good vision, and as a principal that I have to implement the vision to reach to the targets what the management is expecting. And another important thing is that being a leader of this institute, that I need to develop, I need to prepare some other leaders. Right. So leaders have to create the other leaders, and it is very much required to provide a space and to decentralize the activities, and also we have to give some sort of like freedom as well as sharing of information and sharing of thoughts. So thereby that they can work independently, and finally that we can take a collective opinion.
Right.
So the two things that we need to implement that vision, and the other one is that as a leader that we have to prepare other leaders.
Right, sir. Got it. So, sir, as you have been talking about the leadership and everything, I would like to ask the question that, so you are being the very own, the principal of that college. And so what is your philosophy of leadership actually? And how do you describe it? What is your kind of leadership style?
Philosophy is not a like one second. The philosophy here, the leaders must have a proper vision, sir. Leaders must have a proper vision. Right. And the leaders should have a proper strategic planning. So in the strategic planning, then they have to go and how to have a proper mission, and also that we have to have that the objectives, goals, short-term objectives and goals, and some of the things that we need to attain in some particular point of time. So, for example, in coming 6 months, that we need to attain this much of it. That is an objective.
Right.
And the goal, for example, after 4 years, so our institution should be like this. So we should have a proper, with that philosophy that what I am working, not only in this college, in the previous colleges also, that I have worked with that particular philosophy. We should have a proper vision and a proper mission and a proper strategic planning.
Right, sir. So you meant to say that it is totally inclined to be a vision-oriented and should be a goal-oriented.
Yes.
Okay, sir. So, sir, I will be going to another question now. So the education systems in India and other foreign countries are structured very differently. They are very differently and they are so different. And in your experience, what can an inbound student gain from studying here in your institute?
So first of all, that I would like to say the difference between the education system in India and abroad.
Right.
So in the abroad, even in the Japanese, and I have gone to the Singapore also, that the teaching main methodology is a practical oriented.
Right, sir.
Practical oriented. But in India, it is mainly theoretical. Theoretical.
Yes, sir.
So practicals are very less here, and the theory part is more. And whereas in the other countries, that everything that they will be learning by doing. Here, the thing is that is something is different, and we need to adopt. We need to adopt some new techniques, teaching techniques, like participatory learning. The students have to participate, and they have to take up that project-based learning, and also that we need to have that tutorial-based. We need to combine the students, so they by collaboration. Collaborative learning is very much required. So in India, that sort of thing is very less. The main priority is lecture method, traditional method. So it is not having that much impact. The second thing is that in the foreign universities, foreign countries, every institute that will be connecting to industry. So here, for example, 2 months they are studying in the college. Another 2 months they will be working with like an internship, or working for a minor project, or working for a particular major project. So they will be working with an industry.
So basically there will be kind of development of skills, right, sir? That's what.
Yes, sir. What the industry that is expecting, so they are getting that. While pursuing the particular degree, they will be working with the industry. They will be providing the space. But here in our curriculum, so in the national education policy, new education policy, so now we should say thanks to the government, central government, the NEP, new education policy, that will be mainly focusing on this internship.
Right.
Even our state government also, that our chief minister also, that insisting that internships.
Right.
And asked us to assess the student for 100-point AACT scale. 100-point AACT. 100 point, it does mean that is mainly they have to aware about the society. They have to feel the social responsibility. So these people they are acquiring the skills. The skills have to be implemented to the benefit of the society, the people who are living in the villages. So like that, they will be focusing on that particular thing. So that is what we are expecting, and the autonomous college is already implemented. So ours is affiliating to J2 Kakinada. So we are having a vision to go for autonomous. So once the autonomous that it comes, then definitely that the curriculum, we have a flexibility of changing the curriculum. So definitely the curriculum will be modified to meet to the requirements of the particular aspect.
Right, sir. So that's very much insightful, and there's a lots of information we can get to retrieve from even what the government thinks and everything. Okay, so going to the other question, sir, any insights how your institute, Dadi Institute of the Engineering and Technology, could be more welcoming to the students of different races or your different financial backgrounds or different economic backgrounds or different demographics. So how could you say how would be that your college would be attractive? How would be yes, sir.
So the Dadi Institute of Engineering and Technology, how some sort of the people here nearby this particular college, majority of the people are living in the villages. Their income is less as compared to the employees. Employees means that every month that they used to get some sort of money. But the people who are working, who are there in the villages, they will be depending upon the farming, and once in 6 months or once in a year that they will get some sort of like income, and they want to the parents' aim is to make their children to study, and there are financial crisis to the students. Here, what is providing the DIET is providing to them is that identifying that sort of people who are financially that is something like weaker sections. So the government is supporting in all directions. So nowadays that in Andhra Pradesh that the government has extended that 100% fee reimbursement. 100% fee reimbursement. So earlier, now that is implemented. Prior to that, so 35,000 rupees they use it to reimburse, and the rest of the thing, for example, if the people are not having that much of financial status, then the institute itself is providing to some sort of like means scholarship, means basing on their income, regular income. So collecting all the people, needy people. So they may not provide that to the 100% students, but to the maximum, to the extent, possible extent, the institute is supported to the weaker, that is the financially weaker students. So now that government is providing that 100%, and also that the central government is also that is offering some of like a Pragati scheme and the Saksham scheme, and that is ACT has launched that Pragati scheme. Pragati scheme means it does mean that all girl students,
right,
that who will be doing that academic performance. So nearly that 20 girl students that every year that they will be getting that Pragati award, and the Saksham also that that is challenger people, physically challenger people. For that also that the government has extended that Saksham. And just 2 days back only that would have circulated among the students. So whoever that is there, then the institute will encourage them. So definitely the government is supporting a lot, that we will be utilizing that. At the same time, then here also that if anyone, the parents that used to come and their financial status is not that much, in that case also that the institute is providing some sort of like financial support.
That's very much nice, sir, and I really appreciate that you would be helping these people around, other than the government also, and it's very much appreciated. And pray that you keep doing this more and more, right, sir?
Education. This institute is an educational sector. It does mean that it is mainly for service oriented.
Right, sir.
Service oriented. Our even our founder chairman also that his ambition is to provide good service to the people who are residing near to that Anakapalli, Yalamanchali, this particular area.
Okay, so I will be going to another question now. So, sir, what do you think your roles and responsibilities to the college and the students would be look like?
So, as a principal, some of there are primary responsibilities are there with the principal. The principal is first of all that should be an educator.
Right.
The basic responsibility is the teaching, is an educator, and at the same time the administrator also. There must be an effective administration. So how that administration that can be implemented? So we need to we should have a proper vision, and we are having that all the department HODs, and the work has to be decentralized. Decentralization also is very important, and the top priority that we have to give it to the management. At the same time, then we have to think about that financial status of the institute. So depending upon financial status as well as that, the priority to the top management is very much important to the principal. The reason behind that one is that the operational manager is the principal here.
Right.
So other people like the deans and HODs are also very important. All they're supposed to work together.
Right.
And the principal has to extend that complete like freedom to come up with their ideas as well as so their suggestions that we need to take. That is from the staff side. Students is a very important that we are here to provide the service to the students. So we need to provide a good environment to the students, and they have to feel free in the campus.
Right.
At any time that they have to go there. That nowadays the students are very challenging students. Nowadays, especially. So first of all, that we should know that what are their ambitions. So we are having so many clubs that in order to meet their requirements.
Nice.
So for example, some they want to become like job employment. So for that, what are the skills that are required? So that sort of facilities, that it is the prime responsibility of the principal to provide that sort of facilities. And another thing, for example, somebody wants to become an employer, like an entrepreneur. So we are having an entrepreneur and a development cell, and also an innovation cell.
Wow.
So, and we are also having a thought to have an MOU with one company to start the startups also in the campus.
Yes.
So, and all these, the facility, we should be the good facilitator. So nowadays the students are different. So some people that they want to go for like creativity. They have that creativity mind. So we have one club that is called Literary Club. So where we will provide that, we will ask them to go to that one, and that even the music club is there and literary club is there. So every time that it is, why this is the thing is that we'll be providing the facilities at the same time that they should know that we should have to have human values are very important. So it will not be taught in the classroom, but they have to learn it. The core values, they're supposed to learn it. It will not be there in the lessons. So ethics are also very important. So it is not there in the curriculum. And so like that, for example, something like which is not covered in the syllabus. So that will be taught. So by arranging these clubs, like for example, team spirit. So we are providing the facilities for all scholastic as well as non-scholastic activities. Like we have all sports clubs here, total of 9 that is grounds are there here, football, volleyball, separate for girls as well as separate for this one. And here also that one thing that gender equality is also very important. Right. So we need to encourage that woman. So a woman protection cell is there, an internal complaint cell is there. So all must feel happy. So the girl student as well as the boy, and once they have come to the campus, that they have to feel that happiness, then only that they can learn whatever that we teach. At the same time that they can rise on their legs by using the facilities which are available in the campus. So
that's very much true.
As a principal, that I have to say that we have to know what are their requirements and we have to provide the facilities to meet to their requirements. Unlike the traditional thing is like a lecture method, the teacher is going to the class and teaching, delivering some lecture. So that is the old one. So nowadays that we have to find out that what are their requirements, what are their ambitions, what are their objectives. We have to analyze that need base. According to the what we call it is need-based analysis that we have to do according to the stakeholder requirement, parents' requirement as well as student requirement, and accordingly that we need to provide that facilities. So that is a major responsibility what I feel as a principal.
Sure.
So we are providing in the diet that we are providing everything, and we are looking for the maximum utilization of the particular facilities.
Right, sir. So I totally got it, and that's the simple is that the principal should be key responsibility should be that he should be a facilitator to each and everyone there, including the employees, let it be the faculty, staff, or the students. I got to learn that, sir. Thank you.
Including welfare also. Welfare also is a very important. Student welfare also that we have to take care, and people who are working, staff welfare also that way is a very important. That is the reason that providing that insurance and all, it is also very important.
Right, sir. So let's go for another question. Sister, we can meet out our time. Sorry for that.
Yes, please.
So, sir, what do you think that should be the college's top priority for over the next 10 years? What's your college's top priority for over the next 10 years? So, and I want it to be somewhat, there's a time problem here, and I want it to be somewhat brief.
Is 10 priorities. It does mean that it is for both teachers as well as students. So that challenges like, for example, the world is changing in a very rapid manner. So every day that what is happening is it is sometimes that like we are unpredictable. It is not predictable. So at the same time, so because of this computers and internet, now once we are utilizing it, does mean that we are globally connected. So wherever we are, that we will be working across the globe. So we need to find out that the global requirements. Globally, that what are the requirements? So, and accordingly that we need to prepare. That I am requesting our students that what are the challenges that are coming from time to time from the society. At the same time, I am asking our staff members also. A lot of changes that are happening in the society as well in the industry requirements.
Right.
To meet to their requirements, that to meet to the industry requirements as well as to meet to the societal requirements, that we need to update ourselves. Every time that we need to update. The curriculum, that 5 or 6 chapters, it is not sufficient. So we have to go out of the box.
Right.
We have to think out of the box. So that we will be, what DIET is providing is that we are going to provide that particular facility. So we have to give a scope to think beyond that box. Beyond the box. So at the same time, then we are doing that. The gaps between the institute and the industry. So how that can be fulfilled. So we are encouraging the students. I am requesting the students also to make use of that internships. Even AICTE also that will be providing a lot of internships through Internshala on that program called Internshala. So I am asking all the heads of the department as well as the deans that encourage the students to go for internships. If we are unable to go there, then we can make use of that Internshala also. That through that also that we can do. And here it is almost all this college DIET is located to Visakhapatnam. Visakhapatnam, that it is a industrially grown up city.
Right.
There are many industries here. So there are so many companies, various categories of companies. Energy company is there, steel companies are there, and petroleum corporation is there. So in different diversified companies are there. The railways are there. So the people can go there and they are ready to provide some sort of thing. And it is also the responsibility of the students. At the same time, the faculty also need to know what are the gaps to get that good employment immediately after completion of that one. So all these are the challenges. At the same time, and they have to have that one important thing is that they have to inculcate that human values.
Right, sir.
Human values. It is a very, very, very important.
Very
So
important.
what we are getting is that we are getting the degree, and after that post-graduation and after that PhD, it does mean that if we are not having the basic qualification, human value, so there is of no use.
There is
So-
futile. They will be total futile, right? Sir?
Yes. So human values and the core values also there, and they should be a contributor to the growth of the nation
Right, sir.
by participating. So they have to participate. These are the challenges that.
Right, sir. So the other question would be that what do you like to the people to know about your university that which might have not yet known to any other else?
Regarding this, for example, how the people will come to know about that DITE,
Right,
Dadi
sir.
Institute of Engineering and Technology. So, Dadi Institute of Engineering and Technology, the people, majority of the people, they are aware. The reason behind that one is the founder of this institute was an academician earlier.
Got it.
He was a lecturer. So later on that he is converted as a politician. So and elevated to the position of a minister. He has taken up so many high roles and contributed a lot. So that vision is there. It is already that is there. It is spread across both AP as well as Telangana also states.
Oh,
Both.
nice, sir.
So, and his son, now the present chairman, Sri Dadi Ratnakar Garu, is also having a vision. He's a young dynamic, so he can understand that. So,
Nice.
And moreover that, and the institution is having strong policies.
Right.
To run the institution, one should have the strong policies, and we have to abide by the policies. So
Right.
the system should have strong policies. So the DITE is having very strong policies, very systematic policies. So everyone, including me, that I have to abide by the policies. Being an employee of this institution, I am the first employee of this. What I am assuming, the principal is the first employee of this institute.
Yes, sir. That's
So-
very much obvious. Yes.
So that we need to abide by that. So having that strong policies at the same time, then having so many strengths also, like having very good infrastructure. Once you come and visit, you can see that, or you can go to the website also.
Right, sir.
Very good infrastructure.
Yes, sir.
Laboratories are also, that is a very state-of-art laboratories. And
Perfect.
moreover, very, very important thing here, it is professional connectivity. So the institute that will be providing a lot of facilities for professional connectivity, like IEEE chapters, ACM chapter, Indian Institution of Engineers chapter,
Okay.
Computer Society of India chapter. So almost the professional organization, professional bodies, these people, they're supposed to work with a professional organization, professional bodies. So it
Right.
is very much enriched with that professional connectivity. And
True, sir.
and it is
I
very-
want to learn this from your website. While seeing the website, want to learn about
Okay.
it. Sir. That's there. You have been, connected with all these international or national bodies of these so and so
yes, yes.
departments and everything. Right.
So IEEE is an international body.
Right, sir.
So ACM is an international body. So
Right.
Institution of Engineers is a national level, and the Computer Society of India, like that all the departments are having the professional connectivity. So
Yes.
thereby that the student, this is one of the important strength of this institution. So and also the institution that will be providing all the facilities and encouraging the students to participate in the events, professional events. Apart from the professional events, that the institute that is encouraging to participate in some of the traditional events, like for example, conducting Christmas or Ramjan or for example Ugadi.
Taking our culture together with us.
Our culture also is a very important, no, that
right, sir.
we should, that will be and
so
also
let's
conducting.
go
That's
for another question, sir.
Yes.
Right, sir. So, sir, this is a very much interesting question from my side. Is that, sir, what are some of the biggest challenges that you see, both for higher education in general? I meant to say in the other forms of education like commerce or something like application, something like that. Various kind of studies, and also for your institute. I mean, you are providing like what degrees you can know as engineering and everything, right? So, what are the biggest challenges in both the panel you can see, and what would be that?
So what I have observed and I'm observing for the last time, I am there in this teaching for the last almost 28 years. So 24 years that I have been in this engineering field, and prior to that I was as a lecturer for a government junior college. So what I have observed this one is that quality teaching. The people who are coming to the teaching profession should have that passion and the zeal for teaching. Right. It should not be the second option. It should be the first option. That is a challenge. So nowadays, that the people who are coming to the teaching profession is a second or third choice. The first choice is something different. So that is a challenge. So that we are molding the people in the classrooms. So they are very much important to build our nation.
Right.
It's a very is a great responsibility, highest responsibility. What I feel that is.
Okay.
What I feel. So in that aspect, that there should be a quality teaching, and the quality teachers have to come. Very less percentage of quality teachers. It is a very that is one thing in our country especially. And second thing is that it should not be politicalized. So education sector is an autonomous one. So political interference should not be there. So academicians, the academicians, the students, they are not aware of their work. And we should not inculcate that sort of thing into the thing. So that is one the thing. So where I found somewhere I have observed that.
That's the 2 points are very insightful, sir, to be frankly saying. Which one you have stressed on the political is really one need to understand about it, one need to get corrected, sir. That's very much true. The one has to, treat it.
Long back, so when I was schooling, I read one quotation. Right. So it is an opportunity to share with you. So Dr. B.R. Ambedkar garu, I read it on the B.R. Ambedkar Bhavan in Visakhapatnam. Politics is the major key by which we can open any type of lock. It is there in the Constitution.
So if you can go into the words, there's a deep meaning, sir. I can totally understand.
Yes. Politics is the major key by which we can open any type of lock. That is the power of the Constitution. So politics means that politician, it does mean that they are elected by the people.
Right.
So that is the meaning. After that, what importance is given to the person? Yeah, we should feel proud to be an Indian citizen.
True, sir.
We have to feel proud. So that political impact, if it works in a right direction, so definitely that all the education institutions will flourish, can provide very good services. So this some sort of like that is also have to be minimized. So that can provide quality teaching. And the students also, they should know that. For example, one side, not only this side, even the students who are coming to the colleges, also that they should have to have, for what reason they will be coming, and some sort of like that is also very important, that we need to understand. I don't mean to say that the students are younger generations, but we need to understand according to their requirements that we need to work. But
Yes,
the
sir,
students are also that.
Actually, there's a question about it, the very same thing. I think you would, keep it up so that I can ask you a question, you deliver the same words. So the final question of the interview, sir, it will be like more likely connected to each of what you're saying and the question I'm going to ask. So what were the suggestions that you would like to give the current youth and the aspiring students of the or any of them who wants to get into higher education? So what are your suggestions to the current youth?
Current youth means that they have to be aware of the society.
Right.
So one thing. So and another thing is that especially the youth as well as the students, we should have to have a friendly relation. We need to work together, and we should have a proper communication with others, a proper communication. And whatever communication, it doesn't mean that any other thing, that convincing whatever the information that what they are having.
There should be a flow of information, everything.
Information in a convincing manner. At the same time that the youth have to nowadays especially having some sort of like other like obligations whenever they come to the college. So they have to be realistic. That we cannot expect that much at the age of 18 or 19, but they have to have. Otherwise, that once we lost it, then it is very difficult to get it back. So they have to, and they have to be updated. Every time that they need to be updated. They need to be updated what is happening in the society and what the industry is expecting, and accordingly that whether we are acquiring the skills or not. So they have to be aware.
Right.
So this is my thing for the youth.
Right. So this comes at the end of the interview, sir, and it's very much delightful and appreciable to talk with you, and I'm so much honored, and I've got to learn very much insights and from your experiences too, sir. And thank you so much. And the College Union is very much thankful to you on this. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Thank you.